Okay, imagine this. You've got this huge city, right? But it's not like normal buildings.
Duh.
It's made of these glowing strips all woven together, high above. Well, who knows what's down below?
Exactly. It's this image we get from the text we're looking at today, children of ISIS.
Right, children of ISIS.
Yeah.
And it just drops you into this world. What's going on in this kind of techno metropolis?
Well, that's what we want to dig into today. We've got this really interesting excerpt, and our mission really is to unpack it.
Unpack the world, the people.
Yeah, the vibe, the themes,
Yeah.
give you a really solid feel for what Children of ISIS is setting up. But, and this is important, without ruining any surprises.
Definitely no spoilers.
No spoilers. Think of it like we're giving you the lay of the land, the key landmarks, before you actually go explore it yourself.
Perfect.
Well-
Because that's what you listening want, right?
Yeah.
You want to get it, have those aha moments, but not have the whole story laid out.
Precisely. So let's dive in.
Okay. So first thing that hits you reading this is the contrast, isn't it? The settings.
Oh, absolutely.
You start in this like enormous forest, all violet light.
Yeah, luminous and violet, it says. And that crystal mountain.
Right, that glows when the sun hits it. It feels almost mystical, dreamy.
It really does. Super evocative. Sets up this kind of fantastical, maybe even mythical feel. But then, bam.
Then you get ISIS, the city.
And it's a totally different world. The description shifts completely. Now it's this huge network of intertwined strips.
Acting as roads, power lines, comms, everything.
Yeah, the whole infrastructure is woven together. You get this sense of immense scale, but also complexity. Technology is just embedded.
And it's not just cool visuals, is it? The structure seems to mean something.
Definitely. The text mentions topside and sublevels.
Straight away you think hierarchy, different worlds within the same city.
Exactly. It hints at big social divides, things like birth permits being tied to your job level.
Wow, okay.
And then there's this place, Mecca, down in the sublevels. It's described as the capital of, like, clubs, drugs, red light stuff. Kind of lawless.
So, a real split. Affluence and order up top, maybe, and chaos below.
Seems that way. The environment isn't just background. It shapes lives. Topside implies control, maybe rigidity, while the sublevels feel more, well, marginalized, maybe dangerous. It points to some serious inequality.
And the tech plays into this too, right? Not just the city structure.
Oh, yeah. You've got gliders, the magnetic ones zipping about.
Neural implants come up too.
Uh-huh. And surveillance. Lots of surveillance.
Yeah.
Security guys scanning for criminal-type auras.
Makes you wonder how much freedom anyone really has.
Exactly. How much personal space, even mental space, is there in a place like that?
Okay, so that's the world. What about the people in it? We meet Roach pretty early on. Seems important.
Yeah, Roach, she's a Gamma-class psionic agent.
Which means brainwave manipulation.
Apparently. Sounds pretty specialized, maybe powerful. He's got links to this institute as well.
But he also seems conflicted. The text talks about him trying to figure out if there is a self, one I can call mine.
Right. That's deep. It suggests he's not just some agent. He's got this whole internal thing going on. Maybe a difficult past tied to the institute or his abilities.
Could be. And he's got connections in the sublevels too, right? Hades and Bones.
Yeah, it grounds him a bit, shows his social circle isn't just work, gives us different viewpoints on ISIS life, maybe.
Then there's Gwent. She seems different.
Definitely. She's a peak dweller.
Peak dweller. So topside, privileged.
That's the implication, yeah. A stark contrast to Roach's sublevel ties. Their relationship seems professional, mostly.
Mostly. You sense some history there.
A little bit, maybe. Past friendship, possibility of more. It's subtle. And she's into neural augmentations.
Which again brings up the tech theme. What are these augmentations? Superpowers? Just upgrades?
We don't know yet. But it shows how technology isn't just the city. It's in the people, too. Maybe it's common. Maybe it's part of staying on top, on the peak.
Adds another layer to her character and the society.
For sure. She's another window into how this world works from a different perspective than Roche's.
Okay, who else stands out? There are a few other names. Lady Hanja.
Ah, yes, Lady Hanja. She sounds formidable.
The text says she has this overwhelming and intimidating aura of power.
Yeah. And connections to the hidden source and the institute.
The hidden source, what is that? Government? AI? Some corporation?
No idea, but it sounds central, powerful, maybe the real control behind ISIS. Lady Hanja's link to it definitely makes her seem important, maybe dangerous.
And then, completely different vibe, there's a guru.
Right, the guru of the order, in a temple, followers, the whole deal.
But he looks young, yet seems ancient.
That's the paradox, isn't it? It's intriguing. What's this order about? Is it a counterculture, a spiritual path in this tech-heavy world?
Has a whole different dimension.
It really does. And then briefly, there's mention of
A
influx.
subversive group, right? With a guy named Rico.
Hints at rebellion, resistance. Not everyone's happy with the system.
So undercurrents of unrest.
Definitely. These glimpses suggest a really complex society. Lots of factions, different beliefs bumping up against each other. Potential for conflict seems high.
We also meet Luma and Crystal.
Yeah.
But they seem to be in, like, a simulation.
Yeah, it feels like a virtual reality or maybe an experience through those neural implants.
And their conversation.
Yeah.
It's all about what's real, what's illusion.
Exactly. It directly tackles that theme. How do you define reality when you can plug into other experiences so seamlessly?
Are these VR worlds just escape or something more?
That's the question, isn't it? It opens up huge philosophical territory. Consciousness, perception, what it means to be real.
And there was one more name, Remus, linked to the Institute and Roach's past.
Just to mention, but yeah, suggests there's history there, maybe unfinished business that could come back to affect Roach. Adds another thread to untangle.
Okay, so putting all these pieces together, themes start jumping out, even spoiler-free. Control is a big one.
Huge. The government, the surveillance, this hidden source, it feels pervasive.
And the idea of subliminal programming or memory manipulation. That's chilling.
It really is. It makes you question everything. How much free will do people have? Who's pulling the strings? Roach's own mind-affecting abilities kind of echo that theme too, don't they?
Yeah, control of thoughts, perception.
Mm.
It seems key to this world.
Who holds that power and why? That seems like a central question.
And flowing from that, the theme of identity. Finding yourself.
Especially through Roach, right? His internal monologue trying to find his self.
In a world that might be trying to shape you, or where reality itself is blurry.
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
Exactly. That search for self feels really central and probably ties into the VR implant aspect too. Where does you begin and end?
And then there's the spiritual side, the guru.
Yeah, the order. It's this interesting counterpoint to all the tech and control.
Offers maybe a different path. Inner peace instead of external order.
Could be. Or maybe it's just another form of control. We don't know. But it adds this philosophical layer, questions about meaning beyond just survival or status in ISIS.
But beneath the surface, there's definitely unrest.
Oh yeah. Influx. The talk in the sublevels. There's desire for change, for freedom.
The inequality probably fuels that. The top side versus sublevel thing.
Absolutely. That stark divide, the crime mentioned in the sublevels,
Yeah.
it creates tension, people wanting to break out or break the system.
And finally, this constant duality. Everything seems to have an opposite.
Good point. Nature versus city.
Top side versus sublevel.
Reality versus virtual.
Control versus freedom.
It's woven right through, isn't it? This sense of contrast of conflicting forces creates a really dynamic feel.
So summing up this initial dive, Children of ISIS, based just on this text, feels incredibly rich.
Definitely. Complex world building, intriguing characters facing big questions.
We've got these amazing contrasting settings, the forest, the techno city with its levels. We've met characters like Roach, Gwent, Hanja, the guru, all hinting at deeper stories.
And themes bubbling up. Control, identity, reality, rebellion.
Yeah, lots to chew on. And we managed it without giving the game away.
Hopefully. The idea was just to give a taste, a sense of the atmosphere and the potential.
And it really does leave you thinking, doesn't it? Leaves you, the listener, thinking.
For sure. Like, what does freedom actually mean when technology is this integrated into life, maybe even into your head?
Or how do you know what's real when virtual experiences are so convincing? Can you trust your own identity?
Deep questions, the kind that stick with you. It seems like Children of ISIS is diving headfirst into that territory.
Well, if any of that sparked your interest, based on what we've uncovered here.
Yeah, it sounds like seeking out Children of ISIS would be a pretty fascinating ride.
Absolutely. Sounds like a world worth exploring further.